Greetings IB artists, this is Miss A. So today I want to talk to you about what are the most important things that you should be doing in your first year. Most of you will have some knowledge of what to expect because you've done the MYP or you've done your GCSE, but of course the IB Art at diploma level is another level. So I think it's really important that one of the first things that you need to do is to perfect your basic skills, like drawing. I've just posted a short going on about how important drawing is, and it really is. Drawing has a lot of benefits on many different levels, and it is your foundation from which you build and express yourself, your ideas and intentions in a visual language. So it's a very important tool for you to master and to build on. During the first year, I've already talked about how the components, the comparative study, the process portfolio, and then the exhibition, how even though they overlap, they kind of work in a linear fashion as well. So you start with your comparative study where you're really looking at artists and learning from them, looking at how they express their intentions and ideas, and you yourself are trying to first of all clarify what your intentions are. So what are the kind of the topics or the themes or the subject matter that interests you are, so that you can explore them in your work. And obviously in order to express them in your work, because we can have the best ideas, but if we don't have the tools and the techniques and the skills basically to express those ideas, that's where you will really struggle. It's really important that strengthening and working on your skills takes up a lot of your time, especially in year one of IB Art. Other basic skills are things like painting is quite an important skill, and sculpture, 3D work. There are others, many others, like ceramics and whatever you have, printmaking, whatever you have. These are like the traditional ways of working art. And of course, you should not be limited to those. You should be using photography, you should be using all the kind of digital tools that you have and getting good at those as well, because they really are important. As a society, we're moving more and more into the digital arena. It's important to be skilled and well versed in that field as well. Digital tools like editing software and all that kind of software that is, helping you do things really fast can be used for many things, including as tools to help you paint and draw and all those things that are more of a traditional way of expressing yourself in art, or the traditional disciplines of art. It's not that I'm saying you should only be doing traditional art. No, that's your foundation. It gives you a foundation of interpreting the 3D world that you see around you and expressing it usually on a 2D piece of paper or canvas, or of course even if you're doing sculpture, there is an interpretation there where you are looking at something out there in the real world and you are finding ways to express it, first of all as accurately as possible, and then possibly through developing a language of your own. It's really important that you're developing those skills, and while you're developing those skills and really perfecting them and strengthening them, you are also doing a lot of experimentation. Experimentation is very important in year one, because first of all it means that you're not a passive participant, and really the IB Art course is very much asking you to be an active and independent participant or student. The information that you uncover about your strengths, your weaknesses, the strategies that you have to come up with in order to express the ideas that you have, and being creative in the way that you're putting together your skills and your ideas and the media and the materials that you're using in ways that are communicating what your intentions are. And it's really important that you take that first first year to be bold, to be brave, to experiment. If you're kind of sitting there creating perfect works that do not challenge you, that only show off what you already know, and you're polishing that, it shouldn't really be your focus. You know, you should be pushing your boundaries a little bit because it's a year of learning. It should be a steep learning curve for you. You should be really pushing yourself to learn new things, discover new things, create new things, and try new things. So while you are focusing on acquiring your skills and techniques and you're creatively experimenting, the other thing that you should be doing is you should be really open to new things, that you are curious, that you approach your learning open-minded. There's no point in limiting yourself to what you like and what you don't like. This happens a lot with students. You know, this is the kind of art I like, this is the kind of art I don't like. And really that only limits your learning, especially in year one. In year two, you may already have some kind of track that you're kind of on, or a stronger sense of what you're doing and how you're doing it. But in the first year, you're finding your way. So this is really important to know. And the more open and curious you allow yourself to be, the more you will surprise yourself when you discover things that you didn't expect. Allow yourself to learn about things without judging it in a superficial way. So it's really important that you remain open to what you're experiencing as an art student. Developing your concepts and ideas. It's really important that you are constantly finding ways to make your theme or topic more and more sophisticated. And this will happen as you delve deeper and deeper into the subject matter that you are exploring. You may start off with literal interpretations of whatever it is that you're interested in, and that's absolutely fine, that's expected. But then you really, again, by pushing yourself to look at the complexity that is required in order for you to answer the criteria, you should be exploring your topics and themes and expanding them into more complex, more sophisticated, more layered concepts rather than basic or repetitive ways of exploring your theme. And I've said many times that you don't actually need a theme. It is not required by the IBO. However, it is important that you have a focus, because that focus is connecting your body of work, which you ultimately have to do in year two. So it's important that you have some kind of a focus that you are expanding and growing and refining as you work on your art. There should be a clear indication of your progress as an artist with the skills and with your concepts. So as a recap, my recommendations for students in year one, that you are learning from artists and really looking and studying how they do what they do, what are the main intentions behind their work, and how are they using tools and media and strategies to express those ideas in the work. You are also spending quite a bit of time perfecting and strengthening your skills. My number one skill that I think you should be spending a lot of time on is drawing. This doesn't mean that you don't do other stuff. It just means that if your drawing skills are weak, you will probably not do well on this course, generally speaking. This is my personal opinion, so you may not agree, your teacher may not agree, but my number one recommendation is that drawing skills are super important. So you are acquiring skills, whether it's ceramics or digital software that is important to your work, etc. Photography is an excellent tool on many levels because it's fast, and it also highlights the use of formal qualities, how you use composition and color and all the elements and principles of art. So that's the skills and the techniques. You are also experimenting with media. What what are the media that are appropriate to the theme or the focus in your work. So be bold, be brave, really experiment with different types of media and different ways of using media that suits and is connected to what you're trying to do in your work. The last thing that I'm going to say is your theme, your focus, the concepts behind your work are just as important. However, I really believe that as you are working, they will become clearer and clearer to you. I think it's a mistake to spend a lot of time, especially in the beginning, worrying about what your work is about, what the theme is, what the topic is. You should spend some time devoting your energy to that. But give yourself a starting point. Make a decision in the beginning. You can change it later, but not too many times. You are limited in time. 2 years can sound like a long time, but it actually isn't. Make a decision in the beginning of the area that you would like to explore, the general idea that you would like to explore, and then start working. And while you're working, continue to develop those ideas. Again, it's very important that you are becoming better, that you're becoming stronger, that you're becoming more sophisticated, more complex as you're progressing as an artist. So this should be evident in your process portfolio, where you begin and where you end up at the end of year 2. They should be quite dramatically different in the sense that you have put in all the work, all the building of skills, the building of ideas, the learning from artists to arrive at a much stronger place. That should be quite clear in your process portfolio. So that's my kind of list, or the general focus that I think the IB Art students in year 1 should have. So I really hope this has been helpful. I hope that kind of clarifies things for you. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I wish you all the very best and see you in the next video.